plague you. They will plague you, they will plague you, but you will never see them until you decide you want to eradicate them. And how do you eradicate them? Silence. You don't stop until they're disintegrated. But just before they disintegrate and you're free, back in the true stream of life, where it's just well-being. So easy. Right before you get to hit that spot, for good, you see your own monsters. Everyone will. Everyone will. Whatever has been absorbing life force, the little hang-ups they have, their little judgments, their little angers, their little fears, I mean, all that stuff that people judge the world they're in with, when they absorb enough life force, and you decide you're going to take them on, because they're absorbing your life force. That's what's leaving you feeling unsatisfied. They're absorbing it. You're not getting it. It's not coming fully to the front anymore. It's backed up in a bunch of bullshit. So you don't get the feeling of whoosh. You get the yeah, the kind of stumbling forward instead of the determined step. The cool thing is awareness is not a thought. Yeah, you could describe it with a bunch of words. You could think about it. But awareness is a thing of itself. It is silence. When one hits inner silence, awareness gets very sharp. And it starts to go this way, up the street. Right? If you're really good, you're a warrior. You go up that stream, you got your spear, you're trudging up, and anything you find that is blocking that life force, you eradicate. If you want well-being, that is. You may not want it. You may like having your life force taken from you by thoughts that you've created or thoughts that were implanted in you. But when one goes silent and they get out of the way, that life force comes fully to the front. Right here. Presence. Bam. Right here. Right now. What is that capable of? Nothing. Doesn't need to be. It's satisfaction itself. It is well-being itself. It is everything you ever wanted and more itself. It's the scariest damn thing you'll ever hold. Because it's overwhelming. Right? There's no security in it. Yet you know beyond a shadow of a doubt you're responsible for every act. You're accountable for everything you do. Admit that. You get to learn that as soon as you get a hold of it. But you're not responsible for whatever you take. You're also responsible for what you cause in others. It's very weird that some mystical, totally off-the-wall, anti-religious thing becomes all about goodness. Carlos was the most loving human being I have ever known. How do I mean by loving? Am I confusing anybody?
Of course, I think to a degree. I think that that leveling, I think it's an acceptance, not even having to know, anyone's condition, but just what it is, and accepting it, not judgmental. I think there's an understanding that comes with that silence. It's like a meditation almost, but on nothing. sense of that, but I don't. Glimpses, I think, maybe is probably more accurate. But it's just a presence, knowing that we're just part of everything around us. It doesn't matter. Just there. And I get that feeling sometimes during the day. When I'm working, when I'm with people, face to face.
I've never meditated a day in my life.
Don't need to. It's there.
Carlos told me, your way is to do what's in front of you to do. Keep your head involved as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've been able to do. What's in front of me to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, geez, how do I find it? You don't have to. It's the thing picking at you. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me quieter and quieter. But you know, I think people should not turn that into a regiment where, okay, silence the mind, okay, mind be quiet, mind be quiet. That's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not gonna work. It's, you get tired of the noise in your head to the point that you feel like you're gonna explode. You don't kill yourself and you go quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel really pristine, really clean, really clear about what kind of crap you're involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you get that feeling so pungently that you don't want to get dirty again. Like, you know what, I'm feeling clean, I don't want to get dirty again. And then you're very aware of what you do for a while, because you realize it makes you dirty. Makes you dirty. I mean by you're low on energy. You don't feel good. You feel like crap, right? But what ends up happening is people don't know what to do in that interim. What I mean by the interim, it's like purgatory. Nothing really going on there. You know, it's like when I was a kid, I would describe it like this. It's like, okay, what I'm going to attempt to do, and I actually said this, I was like 22, what I'm going to attempt to do is clean all my karma, because it's a word I used back when I was a kid, everybody did. It was the big word, karma, 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 karma. Even those stupid stickers, karma.
Mm-hmm.
But I consciously decided that I'm going to clean up my karma and not incur any more in the process. So when something happened to me that I felt like I needed to retaliate about, I chose not to retaliate. I figured it was happening to me because that's my karma, right? That's as you reap, so shall you know. As you sow, so shall you reap. So I was getting back, you know, the behavior I had been giving people, you know, feeling wronged and betrayed and lied to, the whole thing. But I never retaliated back. Because I figured to retaliate means you didn't learn your lesson. It means you're blaming somebody else. It means you're incurring more karma. So you're just going to do what? Go around in circles for the rest of your life? I didn't feel like I wanted to go around in circles for the rest of my life. I wanted to see if I could stop it. I could stop this behavioral slide into hell. And so of course I dabbled with the idea of spiritual healing. And then at a certain point I'm like, you know, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard of any more nonsense than spiritual healing. How do you heal what doesn't get sick? How do you heal what never dies? It's retarded. The being unfettered is perfection. So it doesn't have the problem. The problem doesn't belong to it. It's the ego. To put it, quite bluntly, there's two worlds happening simultaneously. One was made for you. And there's really nothing wrong with it at all. It goes on and on and on, and you're alive, so it's obviously not so bad. And then there's the one that we put on top of it.